One of the things that we have to understand is we have to understand controlling the wrist. We have to understand how we bend it to get outside wrist turn, kotogaishi, or wrist back towards itself, any kind of Ikkyo and stuff like that. When we first start in Aikido, we want it to be very evident. This is what it is. It's right there. I have good grip. Everything is perfectly laid out. But as time goes on, you don't have time to do that. You just don't have time. But you have to understand the mechanics of the wrist or the mechanics of the arm. And you have to be able to go to it immediately. You're not going to get that perfect grip. You're not going to get that. All right? You're going to learn it. I'll push right here, and I already have them in kotogaishi, and my hand is straight. I already have them because I understand the mechanics of how it's going to work. So for this next thing, we want to work on that same type of motion. He's coming out with his strike. I'm here, my marote. He might push that other hand in there, back like this, all right, like we just did. But from here, when I'm here and I pull him down, I don't have very good grip, but I know what? That he's going to want to go back in balance. Even if he wants to punch, he's not going to go back and punch out. In other words, he'll either stay there and punch, but if he starts backing out, it's very hard for him to want to punch. It doesn't work that way. All right? It doesn't work that way. But I don't have much here. Or do I? All right? So I'm here, and he's punching out towards me, and I'm here, and I'm drawing on him like this. I know he's going to want to pull back. As he pulls back, no, pull this back here. I want to push right up into Ikkyo. All right? So when I'm here, and he wants to punch out, ichi, ni, I just got to know what? Find his elbow. Elbow above his shoulder means he's out of balance. This will just fall into place. And now I'm right into Ikkyo, all right? And from here, I want to find that notch. Once I find that notch, I have all kinds of control. I don't want his shoulder. I don't want his forearm. I don't want his massive tricep or a big lat muscle. I want that little notch right there. And once I find it, it's mine, okay? So from here, ichi, pull him off. Here I am. And I have him. I have my control. Now once he's getting ready to face plant, I never let go. There we are with kotogaishi again. It's right back there, okay? We're here, ichi ni, push up, off balance, pushing him down on his face. What does that do for me? Probably not much, unless I can really earth slam him on his head. But you know what? We're pretty good at getting our hands in front of us. We're pretty good. Not too many people have ever tripped and just had your hands at the side, right? Instinctively, you do what? Put your hands up. It's why you break your wrist in rollerblading. All right? It's why you break your wrist trying to stop yourself from hitting your face. You put your hands out in front of you. So for me to push him over here and to push him to the ground, what do I have? I have a weak stomp on the back of him somewhere. He's probably going to fetal position on me right off the bat and try to get back up because I've done nothing to stop his attack. I've done nothing to stop it. All right? So I'm here. I pull off line. As he pulls back, he might still think about it. As he's pulling back, I got that split second to go through into Ikkyo and then Tenkan here. Now I have a good shuto to the neck, right across that neck, all right? Got a good shuto right there. This is a great spot to hit. Hitting anywhere else is probably not going to be a very effective strike. Hitting here does what? Takes his breath away. If he can't breathe, it's hard for him to fight. I don't know if anybody's ever been hit in the throat before, and hitting the throat that it bends it in. Have you ever had that happen, or your windpipe bends in? I have. You don't think about anything else but trying to get that back, get it back out. Now, whether it really bends in or just flexes, I don't know, but it feels like it's closed off for a second. Okay, with your partner, hajime. Yame for a second. Some of you are struggling because you're trying to control too much. Okay, so when I'm here and I pull here, some of you are so locked down, what did you create? You created a musubi against yourself. All right? I want this hand freewheeling. I want it to do what it instinctively is told to do. Because if I lock it down and he instinctively wants to pull it back and it don't come back, he's going to do something else. He might feel comfortable enough now to punch. All right? But when I'm here and I pull him off balance and he wants to pull back, my hands are free. But I can come in and grab him. I can then move. I know where I got to go. I know that I got to put my hand up here in his elbow and get him. So don't get so bound up, hold on to him and thing. I don't need to. Ichi ni. Once I know I pull him and he pulls it back, I'm right there. All right? So loosen it up a little bit. Don't get so bound up hanging on to him. You don't need to. From here, we were going omote across the face of the body. Omote means I'm going across the face of the body. I can go ura. I can even cause more grief to him. All right? Because if I say, Sensei Billy, we're fighting right here, don't move, and I move over here to start fighting, he does not feel comfortable. So his immediate response is to front me again. We're always going to front. Going omote is okay, but if I want to cause, see, you got to think of something. First level of that reactionary time principle is what? Gather information. Your brain is gathering information constantly, mostly through sight, all right? Maybe some from touch, little maybe from hearing if you're if you even don't have auditory exclusion, we're not hearing anything, okay? Which is amazing how our body does that. Anybody ever go to firearms? You wear earplugs. You have to, damage your ears. You're in the middle of a gunfight, you don't hear any shots go off. Ask somebody how many shots. I don't know. Your body just shuts that part down, just shuts it down. All right? When stress levels go up, that auditory exclusion just shuts it right down. So now, we're here. He's punching out. I'm here. I'm pulling. As his hand goes up, I step ura. Now, he really feels uncomfortable because now he's going to want to try to escape, and I'm going to bring him this way anyhow. I'm going to bring him right into my spot. I'm still there. Once I hang on to him, I never let go. I don't change any grip. I can get it right from there, and I come back, here I am, with my kotegaeshi. All right? I learned that quick. Once you grab them, don't let go, because you might never get it. And next time you watch a cops program, watch how many times you see this. Hand comes loose, you see this. The cop doing this 2 or 3 times because they lost the grip or let go. And he's all over the place, and they're doing this. They'll hang on to this, but they're looking at this. And then usually after 2 or 3 times of trying to grab it, they revert to cop plan B, which never is very good, and usually ends up them in trouble because they escalate their use of force to a level that maybe they shouldn't have done it. All right? Can't say because I wasn't there. So here, you're ichi, I pull him. As he comes back, my elbow, I step to the back side of him, and then tenkan, I pivot this way. I'm right in that same spot. Right? Don't forget to say. Tonight, we did a lot. We did a lot of different things. All off of ippon kumite, lead hand attack, or a grab. So, defensive position, hands up. Don't blade myself too much. Have my hands up, be aware. and all I did tonight, we were just worked off that lead hand. It's endless. The possibilities are endless. Everything that we do, everything that we learn, in every kata that we do, in every move in Aikido that we do, can be applied right off that lead hand. So if we say that you do Ippon Kumite, a lead hand attack, we should be falling asleep with you doing so many of them, because it's endless. It's endless. But testing shows us what? What does testing show us? Weakness. It shows us stress. Testings are all about stress induced techniques. So we see students do what? Anybody who was at the black belt testing, you heard at least 2 or 3 times, do something different, do something different, because we get locked in that loop. It's just a lack of training, serious training, coming to class like this, and then not just taking this, but working on this before class tomorrow or whenever else you come. You got to work on it. If all you do is tonight, you won't remember it. You won't remember it. You've got to practice it and get it down and get it down and get it down. You've got to open like everything up. You've got to be thinking about your entire body, not just your upper body. Got to. You've got to understand the importance of those dachis. You got to understand the importance of the transition that we make in our kata from one move to the next. I want you to watch your students that you're teaching do kata, and I want you to focus on how weak they are moving from one series of techniques to another, and how lackadaisical they just put their foot over there and step up in there. I want you to think about that. So by just that one thought for you there, I just added 5 more years on your training. Because I still think about it and work on it. I spend more time with my mind in the lower end of myself than I do the upper end. Because I've done this so much, now it's second nature. Now I have to say, when I have to perfect it, when I have to strengthen it, when I have to expose my own weaknesses, I'm looking down here. I still struggle with certain things. You know what I struggle with? I struggle with all the pinyan katas going from one opening move to the second move. From here to here, I struggle with that motion. From here to here, I struggle with that motion. I struggle with those. I don't struggle with Nidan. I don't struggle with Godan, because they're what? Very simple. But Shodan, Sandan, and Yandan, that move between, I struggle with to this day. It's the area I have to work on. I struggle on that move. I struggle on how I can make it better. What's happening at that time? So when you're training, you take what we do in here, you put it in your notebook or whatever you're doing, and you got to work on it between now and next week. Well, not next week. I'll be back the following week. So you got to work on it. You've got to work on it. You've got to go and remember what you can. Because the longer you wait to practice it, the less you'll remember of it. But everything we did here is just off of Ippon Kumite, lead hand grab, lead hand. The other thing I want you to start thinking about is that street mentality. Quit thinking about punching things. Start looking towards open hands. Start looking at open hand strikes. Start looking at hitting soft tissue area, vital target areas. We don't see it in the pinyan katas, because the pinyan katas were made pretty much. I talked about this in the first class before this. When they brought karate over to Japan, they had to domesticate it. I was going to use another word, but it wouldn't come out right. They had to domesticate it. Because in order for the Japanese government to let it be taught, it had to go between their Ministry of Education, Department of Education. And they had to look at it. And there's no way that they're going to let gouging and grabbing and all that be taught to kids. Pinyan katas were great for that. And everything else was domesticated, domesticated, domesticated. It's how judo came about. They're not going to teach jujitsu to kids. So what did judo? Became a domesticated form of jujitsu. It became its own art. Karate did the same thing. We still have remnants of it today because we still think about everything above the waist. It was one of the worst in recent history when they took going to the groin away in tournaments. And since they all started, we went to the groin. We went to the groin all the time. I could blaze that lead leg roundhouse to your groin so fast and hear that cup pop or hit you. You had to be aware of it. Once they brought it above the waist, what happened? It's just like a boxer. All he has to worry about is up here. Nothing down here. Karate people, same thing. That becomes more domesticated, more domesticated. You've got to think about it. How am I going to utilize my kicks? How am I going to utilize them to the way they should be done? You got to have that street mentality. And you got to practice those street techniques with each other. You just can't go full bore with each other. There's dojo mentality, dojo techniques, street techniques. You can't mix them. You can't take street and put it in a dojo. You can't put dojo and put it in a street. Okay, so you got to work. You got to work. Like I said before, if you don't work, then I'm just entertainment for you. That's all I am. I'm just entertaining you. I want you to be good. And you think about it. Like I said, when I made that joke, I gave you 5 more years of training. That's minimum. That's minimum.